Okay, Mom. Happy birthday to Hina!
Thanks, guys. Much appreciated. I'm so excited for another year of life.
You guys, she's the funniest person we know.
But
Everybody send her a message, blow up her DMs.
thanks, guys.
Hype her up, hype her up. Let's
Hype
go.
me up. Let's go. It's my day today.
Also, what are we starting a GoFundMe for you? Aruj wants a coffee machine. What does Hina want?
I was about to be like, a job. Oh my god. Yo, what do I want?
What do you want?
I don't know, man. I don't know. Never thought about this. I don't know. Actually, I genuinely don't know. Like I'm out of the coffee machine is like pricey.
Yo, coffee machine is pricey.
I would say I want a Chanel. No. I want a Chanel. Get me the Chanel.
All
guys.
right, let's go. Chanel GoFundMe
Chanel
for
GoFundMe.
Hina's birthday. Let's make it happen, people.
It's like her version of a coffee, but for me.
For real.
But you could also add a Chanel to her GoFundMe as well, because I don't think that she would complain.
And you know what? Just add a coffee to her machine to her GoFundMe, so when I come to her house, I can use it.
Actually, I support this message. Okay, I support this.
So that we can, maybe slowly convert her. Can let her know how amazing it
There's
is.
a chance because I like ice caps, guys. There's a chance. So I don't know if I could be like you.
I don't think so.
She is like, I could see you being like, yeah, I just need a black coffee with nothing in it. Like you're like the raw coffee drinker.
You guys,
okay?
99% of life's problems can be solved with coffee.
Can they really though?
They can. I have a friend who suffers from migraines, and I was with her a few days ago. She's like, Aruj, my migraine is really bad. And I looked at her and I was like, I think you just need a coffee. And she's like, this girl is so weird. and she's like, you mean you want a coffee? I'm like, yeah. But I took her out. She got an iced latte, and within 3 sips, she's like, Aruj, my headache is going away. And I told her that 99% of life's problems can be solved with coffee.
All right, so now we have proof that this is accurate.
I have actual evidence.
I
did the research.
Living proof, okay? Whoever
I collected
this
my data.
She wrote the hypothesis.
And we
made
have
the
now
conclusion.
There we go. There we go. So GoFundMe, let's go.
Let's go, guys. Support
Welcome to the episode. Happy Wednesday. We missed you guys. We hope you're doing well. And if you have not already, please remember to subscribe to the channel, please. The button is right here. Make sure you are giving us those 5 stars. Guys, we're really close to 1,000 ratings on Spotify. We're at like 900 something.
Yes.
We would really appreciate it if you guys could just go over on Spotify and give us those 5 stars, please.
6,
10. And if you are following us on our socials, that's where we ask our question of the week, especially on Instagram. Make sure you are also heading on over to patreon.com/OkMomPodcast, because that is where we release new episodes every Monday at 7 a.m.
Yes, we do. But before we get into it, lest we forget. Hey,
Guys,
hey,
I'm a cool
hey,
Sasuma.
Hey.
That's going to be the
This
trend.
set is stunning.
It's so beautiful.
Initially, when she put it on, she was like, you know what? Is this matching my outfit? And I was like, girl, it's a slay.
If there's anybody you trust, it's her.
It's a slay all day.
You guys, these are the earrings. And this is the set. Okay, I really like the set because I actually don't have choker sets.
Yeah, and you want to know something? It's wedding season.
It's wedding season.
And like, girl, imagine wearing like, even if you wore like a plain,
yes,
and you put this set on, plain outfit with like maybe a little bit of like that mukesh, dupatta, and then girl,
with your freshie shalwar.
with your freshie shalwar.
Ooh, I really do like this.
I'm not gonna lie, it's really beautiful, and I have these really pretty like 3-tone gem earrings. I've been seeing these a lot.
They're gorgeous.
So it's like different shades of green, and then it has like a pink stone.
The pink stone's my favorite.
It's so pretty.
Yeah.
And you can wear, look how versatile. Look, I'm just wearing a regular white shirt. We can rock it. You could probably wear this with this because this has green and pink in it too.
Yeah, the earrings? Yeah. Oh, yeah. The earrings I feel like you can wear with anything.
Very versatile. The brand is Rangreza Accessories. Rangreza _ accessories.
Yes.
We're listing her below. And you guys, make sure you guys give her a follow. She has some beautiful jewelry pieces, and they are very well priced as well. So
also high quality. Like it doesn't feel like, you know how some
cheap
Pakistani jewelry feels cheapy? Like this is not. This is like heavy.
It has like weight to it.
Yeah.
I love that so
Me
much.
too. And like you want to get the ones where the gems stand out. The colors are the way they are in the photos.
Oh my God, thank you. And
How
you know
many times do I pick jewelry pieces and I'm like, this is the perfect tone of copper, and it comes and it's orange.
Oh my God, I hate that.
Me too.
You know what you were saying about like the color of the gems standing out? That's such a big thing because like if you have like the tacky gems, they look like dollar store gems.
Exactly.
But these are not dollar store gems, guys.
They look
They're
exactly
not.
like the photos that we picked.
they do. Yes, they
Also,
do.
my mom saw it and she's like, she's stealing it. So.
Oh,
It's
gonna look
mom
good on her.
approved.
It's mom approved, but it's so dainty and
It
beautiful.
is so nice.
Like it's actually really pretty. I
Guys,
love it.
make sure you check her out. Rangreza_accessories. We will also be sharing her on our story so you can check out her page.
Yes.
Very amazing customer service. She's always responding. Like her response time is really fast. I
God.
appreciate it.
I appreciate response time so
Me
bad.
too.
Like, for me, I'm like, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Like, what if I'm in an actual crisis?
I know.
It's
right?
my wedding day. And my set broke. And you have somebody who's going to respond right away trying to give you solutions or maybe like give you something as an alternative.
Something,
Come
yeah.
on. This is the kind of service we need. You
Yeah.
guys know we only like to promote things that we really, really appreciate. So we love this brand. Make sure you check them out. It's wedding season. If you guys buy any jewelry from her, make sure you tag us. So we'd love to see it.
please. All right.
Let's get into it.
So actually, we asked a question.
We did.
You guys, this was so epic. Okay. So
Yo, y'all responded, eh?
okay, but how would they not? Because this was like unhinged.
So this trend is going around all socials
Like
where
crazy.
people are asking you about your relationships, describe them, but in ways that maybe men or women wouldn't understand. I saw one where it was like, describe your relationship with your girl in soccer terms. For like men.
What was the answer?
It was things like, oh, she loves her away games. I was like, yeah. I understood that one.
I love the away games too.
Or it'd be like, she's a real team player.
Ooh.
Whoa.
Whoa.
You know what I'm saying? So, and then there was some people who were like, oh, describe your relationship with your mans in makeup terms.
Oh my God.
So you'd have to use like makeup brands or whatever. Like, I don't know what that would look like.
Toothpaste? I can't. Oh my God.
Maybe she's born with it. Maybe it's Maybelline.
Maybe.
So we had to ask with obviously our own twist because y'all love it. It's our bread and butter.
Yes.
What is your relationship with your in-laws using Netflix titles only?
You guys, these are so funny. Some of these shows I haven't even heard of.
So fun. I know. I
Okay.
actually, so you guys, as I was going through these answers, I was like, I'm going to add this to my list.
Right?
This show
What
sounds
is this
interesting.
about?
What is this about?
Okay, so
So
someone
first
said.
and foremost, I'm going to start
Okay, go.
because this was my response. The Crown.
So many people had that response though.
I know.
Because
Because you're
go
like,
many ways, guys.
you don't know who's fighting for what throne.
Yeah, no, you don't know what's going on.
You don't know what's
You
going
don't
on.
know what's going on.
It's a royal battle. That's what it's going
It's
to
a
be.
royal battle for the throne.
For the throne. But also, this could also be my relationship with my own family.
Bet money. Oh my
It doesn't
God.
have to be your in-laws.
That's so accurate. Okay, someone wrote, "Nobody wants this." Girl,
But you
are
stuck.
you okay?
But you stuck. Blink twice.
But you stuck.
Somebody wrote lost.
Oh my God. Someone wrote "Kabhi khushi kabhi gham." A lot of people wrote that.
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
And I was just like, that's true.
It's true.
But that's so accurate with every relationship if you really
Because
think about it.
sometimes it's great and sometimes it's rough. I love that. Squid Games. Okay, I have to share something. This is totally random, not related to this topic.
No, but while I
so
eat my pastry.
with the equity department, we all decided to go to this place called Activate.
Okay.
It's in Heartland, and you go and it's you make groups of like 3 or 4 in teams, and you have these wristbands, and you enter rooms, and there's games in the rooms. It is literally like Squid Games. It's obviously not violent, but you would go in and there was
Like
one
very
game.
competitive.
Yeah, there was one game where there's 4 eyes on the wall. And there's numbers or letters all on the wall. And you have to, let's say, for example, you have to spell out the word slug, SLUG.
Yeah.
One wall will have the letter S. One might have L and U, and the other one would have G. So you have to work as a team to spell out the letter. But if the eye goes red, you can't move. Because it'll detect that somebody's in the room. And if you lose, then your time is out and you have to exit the room.
The way I would,
Though I was like, nobody move. Nobody move. But it's a really good team. I should take you.
That would be so fun.
It's a
I'm
really
so
good
down to
like
go.
team building exercise. Like you're not in it for yourself. You have to work as a team or you will lose.
Yeah.
There were so many other ones. There was like a basketball one. There was like you have to shoot the asteroids.
And then you guys win.
We won a lot of points. I had to leave early because it was my kid's graduation.
Oh, okay, that's fair.
It was my little one's preschool graduation, so we had to leave early. But
so cute.
It was super fun because I feel like I just loved where people would go and being super competitive, and then you realize, no, we have to work as a team or we can't get out. Or you'll get out and you're just losing points.
It's kind of like, have you ever done an escape room?
I have, but you know how escape room, it's like one room and you have to escape in a time?
Yeah.
This is like, if you're done the game, get out of the room. So like go in other rooms and play different games and just collect points.
That sounds really interesting.
I'm taking you.
We are going to go. I love this stuff,
We
guys.
are going.
Genuinely, I love this stuff. Okay, someone wrote Amityville Horror. That's what's going
Have you
on.
watched that show?
I have, you know what I did see? I think I saw Amityville Horror, the first one. But then there was another
Isn't
one.
it really scary?
It's so scary, but have you seen Haunting of Hill House?
I haven't watched it. I can't watch it. I'm a baby.
Oh my God, guys. Haunting of Hill House. The way my brother literally said to me, I was at his house, okay, when I was watching this. He's like to me, Hannah, I'll give you $100 if you go into the basement. Literally, he's like, I'll give you $100. The basement door is like right there. I'll give you $100 if you go into the basement and come back upstairs. And I'm like, I cannot do it. I can't do it.
After watching the show?
$100, girl. I gave up $100. Yes.
And girl, I would have pushed you down the stairs. Get that $100. What do you
I
mean?
would have just been lying there like,
Get that bag.
save me.
Okay, what is it like jinn boot stuff?
It is, and it's very like, oh, it's just so messed up.
Oh God, okay, don't tell me. Don't remember.
It's so scary, okay? Like you're just terrified. You know what scares me?
Is it about a family? I know
Yes.
nothing about it, by the way.
It's about a family. It's about a house that's like really messed up. It's about like things happening in the house. But it's like definitely about like ghosts and stuff. And like normally I'd be like, Psh, this is not real. But like there's like certain characters in that movie that you're like, this is made from a nightmare. Like, have you ever heard of like Slender Man and like all that stuff?
No.
Oh my God. Bloody Mary.
I mean, Bloody Mary. Okay, how scared were you as a kid?
Oh my
if
God.
you had to go into the bathroom
No.
of your public school
Oh my God.
and you had to say Bloody Mary 3 times.
I couldn't do it.
I couldn't do it.
I was like, she gonna kill me.
Yeah. I was like,
Miriam, she gonna kill me for
you want to
sure.
know something? So, oh my God, you guys, I have this really scary memory.
What?
So this was when like you're in grade 3 or 4, Bloody Mary's everywhere. Everyone's talking about it. And we went outside.
Yeah.
And there was this like person standing in the middle of our field in the back. Yeah. And she was just standing there and she was staring at everyone and she wasn't moving. Yeah. So everyone was just looking at her and then they're like, Aruj, we have to go. And I was like, I'm not going. But then I think the staff member was also like, who is this? So the staff member, so then all of us like 60 kids were following this one staff member to see who this person is. And when I say she's in the middle of an open soccer field, like, why aren't you moving, fam? And I'm just like,
Everybody's staring at you. Hello.
and everybody's
Wave.
walking towards you. And then I remember it ended up being like somebody's grandma and she just didn't know where to go because she was picking up one of the children.
Oh.
And so
Dadi John, like
Dati John, डरा के मुझे
Come on.
बिठा दिया उधर. Abhi tak, I'm 35 years old. I'm still remembering you. But I was terrified.
that stuff scares me.
You know, I was really scared. It was so eerie. Like, it was like all windy in this open. Oh my God, I can't even. Oh.
But you know some of the
I'm
scary
such a
people,
baby,
like,
man.
No, it's not that, man. Some people tell really scary stories.
I don't want to hear them.
One day I'm just gonna shock her and tell a really scary story because I'm very good at telling scary stories.
I feel like Hina's gonna come up with it and she's gonna throw it in this episode.
No, I used to, you know what I used to do with my cousins? I used to like start off telling a story, you know, real chill, whatever. Everything is hunky dory. And then at the end I'd just be like, rah! And then they would jump and I would just be like, gotcha. It was amazing.
You guys, she's that cousin.
I'm that cousin.
You're that cousin that I didn't want to sit around because I knew you do that.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm her. I am she. She is me.
She is me.
What else do we got?
This is a good one. Lost in translation.
It makes sense because like I'm trying to explain myself to you. Do you need me to speak a different language?
It just, and also the generational gap. Sometimes I feel like people feel this way when you get married to somebody from abroad. Like, or if you get married from somebody out of the culture or from back home.
Yeah.
And then you're trying to figure out, it's really hard to introduce your city's culture. It's one thing to have like your Pakistani culture.
Yeah.
Your religious, morals and values. But every city has its own culture.
Yeah.
It's so hard to explain that to somebody. Like, you can't really explain Toronto until somebody's here.
How do you explain nasty Toronto slang?
No, I don't know. But it's also funny.
Some of it is like real, like.
But also, how do you explain like the concept of Ridgeway Plaza? Because it doesn't exist anywhere else.
Yeah, it doesn't. You
Guys, when I went to Calgary, everything shut down at 9.
what in the
On a
wor-
Saturday night.
Calgary, step it up for God's sake.
We went to go get dinner on a Saturday night and the kitchen closed at 8:30.
Ya Allah.
The kitchen closed. We had
You
to
should be like, my kids sleep at this time. Are you kidding me?
It's my freedom.
For God's
What do you mean you
sake.
can't have a kebab roll? And then obviously the Pakistani restaurant was like, chicken kebab aaj nahi hai. Why? Why do we do this to ourselves?
I don't know, man. It's like they know you're coming. They intentionally do that.
Hi.
Oh, look at this one. Pretty Little Liars. At least they're pretty.
At least they're pretty.
If they're pretty, it's good because then your next, future children. Good for them. Mercy for None.
The devil wears Prada. She's the gold chain wali saas.
Oh my God.
हम आपके हैं कौन?
How to Get Away with Murder, except it's not been committed.
But I'm slowly dying inside.
Oh my God.
हम साथ साथ. Do you mean literally? Are you living together with them? Is this a cry for help or are we being
It's basically all these are a cry for
Woo.
help. But someone did write. They're like, wow, reading these is making me so sad because I have such a good relationship with my in-laws. And I was like, I love that
Alhamdulillah.
for you, man.
I'm very happy for you, man.
I love that for you.
Because a lot of us don't feel that way.
Yeah. Oh my God. Someone wrote con mom. Jeez.
What's that?
I don't know. Oh,
It's okay not to be okay.
oh man. Yeah.
Is that a show?
I guess so. The Purge.
Mm.
Till death do us part. Literally.
You signed those nikah papers, bro. The madness.
Oh my God.
Oh, somebody wrote Friends.
Someone wrote dead to me.
Somebody wrote a combination of Money Heist and The Walking Dead. That's a thigh tax right
That's
there.
a thigh attack. Oh my God.
A series of unfortunate events.
Oh
That's the one.
Oh
That's
my
my favorite
God.
one.
Oh my God. Someone wrote The Serpent in Law Edition.
Snake City.
Oh Lord.
There are so many of these. Oh, one of them is called Home Alone. There are so many of these I don't know.
There's so many that I don't know, but like overall, the moral of the story is everybody needs work. Everybody needs help.
Mission
Everybody needs
Impossible.
work. Oh my God.
Oh my God, somebody wrote Love on the Spectrum.
What does that mean?
I don't know.
That's about like autistic
I
kids.
know.
So their in-laws are autistic.
Maybe. It's not like anybody was diagnosed back then.
That's actually so true.
Sometimes you look at some of the
Older
people in the older generation and you're like, yeah, you're a little bit.
Something
Could have been diagnosed.
yeah, but it wasn't.
Somebody wrote Two Broke Girls. Somebody wrote Let Go. Seriously, cut the damn cord already.
Oh my God.
I've never seen Let Go.
I haven't seen that either.
Indian matchmaking.
Oh my God. Jeez.
All right, I think that's all I got.
That's all we got. Okay.
Last one.
Yes.
Gossip Girl.
Isn't that like every Desi family?
That's
Like,
every
you really
Desi
think about
family,
it.
man.
That's literally like every Desi family.
Everybody out here just wants to
Okay,
spill
but
the
can I
tea.
be honest? Everybody gossips.
Everybody gossips.
It's normal.
I feel like it's normal when it's something that you can't live without. That's when
Yeah.
it's problematic.
When it's something you can't live without, and it's like there's like a range.
Yes.
Like how much do you do it?
There's
'Cause
a
some
little
people,
bit like, oh, let me tell you what happened to me.
yeah.
Right? Let's say I had a personal experience with someone and I want to share it with you and you know this person. I can be like, oh, this is what happened to me when I saw so and so.
Yeah.
But then it's something else when you're constantly just talking bad about everybody and the person that you're talking to. Let's say you're telling me about somebody and I don't even know who that person is.
But then it's also like if you're constantly doing that, then I wouldn't even trust you.
Yeah, because then who knows what you're telling other people about
About
me.
me,
And they might
exactly.
not even know who I am.
Exactly. Like you're not anyone's hamdard.
There have been a couple of times where I've been with people and they're like, oh, do you know so-and-so? And I'll be like, no. And they'll still continue talking about that person.
Oh my God, I know.
And
then-
I'll just be like, I don't care. Why are you so invested?
But you know why that bothers me? It's like I don't want to have like thoughts about somebody that I've never even met.
Right.
Like, let me make my own assumptions about them when I meet them.
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know what I
yeah.
mean? Let me get to know them, meet them. But now that you've told me this stuff, now it's like, even if you aren't even that person, immediately your thought just goes to, oh, but remember that story. So like,
yeah,
you're like, this is
because the seed has been planted.
Yeah.
And now you're just gonna think, you're gonna associate whatever that thought was that somebody told you with that person.
Yeah.
And it also could not be true.
Yeah.
That's-
Or it's like a perception thing, right? Like some people, they're just like, I just don't like that person because for whatever reason, they just don't like them. And then they say it from a negative perspective. But like in actuality, that person could be a really nice person.
And you just wouldn't know.
Like, I wonder what people say about us, girl.
What are
ज़्यादा ही बोलती हैं,
what are you
बक करती रहती हैं,
हर वक्त मुंह चलाती है.
हर वक्त in-laws के बारे में.
इनके पास कोई और टाइम नहीं है
They
वैसे.
have nothing better to do.
Seriously, वेलियां.
Lord have mercy.
Meanwhile, y'all don't know how every minute is calculated in our lives.
And honestly, sometimes I think about it, I'm like, you know, the people that are like, all you guys do is talk about in-laws. It's like, if everybody is sending us stories about how negative their relationships have been with their in-laws, what do you want us to do?
What do you want
Not
us to
talk
do?
about it. What are we supposed to do?
Yeah. Also, guys, this is a cry for help.
It's
There's
a cry
a
for
lot
help.
of people in here who are in unhappy relationships and they have too much interference from their in-laws.
Yeah, and maybe if the in-laws watch, they can implement some changes.
The ones
There
that are
you
watching
go.
us on Facebook.
There you go.
Auntie G, subscribe to the channel, by the way.
Yes. Shameless, a rude plug. All right. So this week, our question.
Speaking of in-laws, what's our question of the week?
Oh, here we go again. Our question
Buckle
of the
up.
week is, what's been the most difficult part about welcoming a new brother-in-law or a sister-in-law?
So I had to really think about wanting to ask this question because this is not what's like the worst thing your in-laws have said to you. This is the challenge that a lot of us experience when our siblings get married. Or when you are already married and a new like maybe your husband's brother gets married and then a new bahu is and enters the home. This dynamic and this shift, I feel like nobody ever spoke about.
Oh, yeah.
Nobody ever prepares you. Everyone's like, ha, shadi ho jayegi. You're so excited. Oh my God, my sister's getting married. Oh my God, my brother's getting married. Or, oh my God, my husband's sister is getting married. Or my husband's brother is getting married. And then when that person enters the family, either they're amazing and you're just like, wow, this is the person that was missing.
Yeah.
Or it's the complete opposite.
Shaitan ki aulad.
Shut
One or the other.
Yo.
It's a one extreme or the other extreme.
or the other. And then when the competition gets created in that family, it's
There's
really hard to
definitely
navigate.
a level of competitiveness, but I feel like it depends on who it is.
Exactly. And it's
Some
not all the
people-
time.
It's not all the time.
But we're going to be talking about a little bit about this is something that if you're not married, let's say you're single, or if your sister is getting married or your brother is getting married, these are maybe some things that you might experience or are already experiencing. You know, sometimes when we talk about, oh, it's the bride's day, she's going to do whatever she wants. And you're the brother's sister. Immediately you get casted as this like,
Jurel.
churel pupo, you know, the pupo category. But you could genuinely be such a nice person and you're so excited that, oh, I've never had a sister. I've only had an older brother.
Yeah.
I am so excited to have a sister. But you don't know what her perception of you is going to be.
Yeah, but what if you actually are Jurel?
As a sister?
No, because like, okay, you will never. Who sits there and is like, I'm so horrible.
No, nobody does.
Nobody does.
Nobody does.
Right? So like their intention might be like, oh no, but I'm going to do this because this is what works for my family.
Right.
Right. But then you're also being extremely overbearing.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
And so like maybe the sister-in-law that's getting married, she's very like jup chop, you know, like quiet, shy.
Yeah.
She doesn't know how to speak up for herself.
Yeah.
So you're almost just like, she doesn't know how to speak up for herself. So I will do this.
Yeah, that's
But
true.
it's just like, I should probably like tone my ass down a little bit.
Everybody needs to self-reflect. Or it could be the other way around where like, maybe your brother didn't marry like the right person.
That's possible too. This is also possible.
Maybe he married somebody who is very gossipy. Okay. And or she's just too intrusive, or she just wants to know what everybody's up to all the time. And you're just like, hey, my mom does, or my brother doesn't even ask me where I'm going. Why is she asking?
That's true. That's true.
Right?
It could be
Because
like
you're
that.
single and younger and you're going to be in that house. And let's say your brother and your sister-in-law are staying with you. That's a hard dynamic to navigate. We're going to get into
That's
it.
a really hard dynamic to navigate. Okay. The question, what's been the most difficult part of welcoming a new brother-in-law or a sister-in-law? Someone said, watching her disrespect my parents.
I had that one circled.
Oh. Okay. Thoughts on that?
I think... Okay. I think it's one thing when you can say what you want to your parents. It is so hard to watch somebody else say things and not have that mama bear come out in you. For example, if it's, let's say my brother gets married and I just tell my mom like, oh, you know, mom, stop asking everybody about nashta. Nobody wants to eat it right now. I say it, it's like, chill, whatever. We're just saying what she wants to say. Somebody else says it and I'll just be like, are you going to disrespect her right now?
Oh,
Are you disrespecting her in the kitchen when she's cooking for you? The way the claws come out, I can't help it.
Would you say it to her?
Probably not. This is the thing. Yeah. Because the relationship is so sensitive, the dynamic is so different. I have to watch because not only do you have to watch that relationship with your sister-in-law, you don't know how your brother has changed.
Yes.
And you don't know if he's going to go from, hey, I'm always going to support what my sister says to, hey, I got to support my wife.
But that is going to happen.
And that is going to happen. And you as the sibling, I think as the sibling, you also need to understand that that's good too. Like he should be supporting his wife. Because I think at the end of the day, we always want that. But it's so hard when you feel like she's disrespecting your parents.
But I don't think, honestly speaking, I know we crack jokes a lot, guys. We crack a lot of, we say a lot of wild things, okay? But the reality is that like, we would never be rude. Like, I don't think either of us would ever be like, you know, like really mean.
Like
and
badtameez.
Badtameez. Like, I don't think, I mean, on the podcast, वो अलग बात है.
वो हम आपस में कर रहे हैं.
हाँ, वो तो दूसरी बात है. Whatever. But I'm talking
हम
about...
उधर नहीं ना कह सकते, हम इधर कह लेते हैं.
हाँ, बिल्कुल.
It's our outlet.
But like, honestly speaking, I would never disrespect someone's parents. Unless it came to a point of rude where they have disrespected me and like they've been saying rude things to me.
Yeah.
Because I think that's when like a girl will feel like this is so uncool and no one has stuck up for her.
Yeah.
Like for me, the way it would be is, okay, let's say I saw my sister-in-law say something to my mom.
Okay.
Honestly, because I have a sister-in-law, right? I would really try to understand what happened. Because it's also like understanding the personality of the person. Like, are you triggered by something? Sometimes like, I mean, also notice like we're human beings, right? And like, imagine you're postpartum and like, aise bas kuch baat ho jati hai. Out of frustration and stress, you say something, which is usually when people say stuff when they're stressed and frustrated, right? So she says something. So like, I know my mom can hold it down.
Yeah.
She can handle it. Yes, of course, as a child, you're like, hold on a second. But then I also feel like what happened that triggered you to say that? Unless it was someone that as soon as they start coming into your house, they're just rude straight off the bat.
So let's say that's the case. Because
Then I would have a
postpartum is different.
conversation.
Like sleepless nights. You're trying to take care of a baby. You're so confused. You're going through an identity crisis. You're trying to survive literally with your child and understand this new life of being a mom. Fine. Let's say it's just somebody who just got married and entered your home. And let's say it's your sister's husband.
Okay.
And randomly he just decides to reign supreme. Let's say you are welcoming a new brother-in-law into your family. And, you know, you have a very, you know your sister. Girl, you know your sister. She'll say things to your parents when she needs to, but most of the time it's like, whatever, chill. She's more of the chiller child. She's not going to be out here being whatever, okay? But her husband kind of comes in and has that dominating male personality. You know what I'm talking about? You know,
I
we
know
discuss
what you're
these.
talking
Okay.
about, girl.
So let's say you're sitting there and he just like randomly decides to like have the last word in every conversation you ever have as a family. I'm talking every conversation. So you're sitting there and you're talking about the housing market because whatever. Okay.
Right.
I'm talking random because your dad is there.
Sure.
Everyone's there. Your brother is there. And you're talking about the housing market. And he just has to, you know, har baat mein ulte tarike se jana hai. Like everybody's agreeing to one thing, but he has to say the opposite. He's always playing devil's advocate.
Always trying to create like some sort of a ruckus.
Stirring the pot.
Yeah.
Right? It's fine when it's once or twice. But then every time, and now your dad's getting upset. He's like, man, इसके साथ तो मैं जब बात करूँ ही शुरू हो जाता है.
बात ही मैंने करनी छोड़ दी है.
मैंने बात करनी छोड़. मैंने तो मुंह बंद रख दिया है because you know what? I don't want to be around this right now.
Okay.
What would you do? Would you have a conversation with your sister?
Yeah.
And how would you broach this topic?
I would just say it. I would be like, yo, listen, is he all right? I don't know. I think I have such a chill relationship with my sisters, guys. Like,
Yeah.
I think if someone actually spent time with me and my siblings, they'd be like, y'all are too chill.
Yeah.
Like, you should just say whatever.
Yeah.
We honestly were very open. I
Yeah.
would just say it to her. I would be like, yo, what's his issue?
Yeah.
But then I do think that there's times, girl, if somebody has a personality like that, like, eventually they're going to say something to you.
Yes.
Right. And when they say something to you, it's almost like this dominating thing where it's like, I know more than you know, and I'm always right and you're always wrong. Okay. And they'll use whatever tactics that they need to like get the upper hand. And sometimes it's like the eldest ones, like the older sisters are like this too, right? Where it's like, we know more than you know, right? But like, I think if that happens, sometimes you stay quiet. But then, girl, there's times when what if he says something to you and he's actually wrong? And then you rebuttal and you're like, it's actually like this. Yeah. And then he's like, well, no, you're not seeing it the way that this should. And the argument, like, it starts off as a simmer. Yeah. It becomes a boil. And then it freaking overflows like the jaw on the stove that we were not watching.
That you looked away for 2 seconds and it exploded.
Jaw everywhere.
Malay everywhere.
Oh, God. The worst day of my life.
And then guess what? Your parents are going to be like, Tumhara dimag kharab hai?
100%. They'd never say anything.
Why did you even decide to open your mouth?
They would never say anything to him. Because
in front of them, there's no way that you can allow anybody to say anything to the husband that walks into the home.
Yeah, because Aruj, think about it. It's a brother-in-law.
It's a brother.
If it was a sister-in-law, I actually think it would be a little bit different.
I think it would be a little bit different, but when it comes to brother-in-laws, like they wear the crown.
They walk
in the girl's
like
family.
Raja Hindustan. Like, I'm here. And you're just like, but you're saying the wrong thing.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And then sometimes I'm almost like, even to the parents, I'm like, you know what? Put that stuff down. Like, stop doing that. Because you're putting him on a pedestal that he doesn't even deserve. Like, call him out for what he's doing and saying that's wrong. Let's just do that, because the more you influence it, the more he's gonna be like, oh, it's okay for me to do that.
However, the other side of it is you do say something and then all of a sudden your sister is calling you and be like, don't say anything to him, because then it starts fights between the two of us.
That's not my problem. If you're married to a douchebag, sorry, I'm going to say it. If you're married to a douchebag and I'm calling somebody out and I'm saying what you're saying is wrong, and my sister is turning it around and getting mad at me because she can't
handle the argument,
that's not a me problem. That's a you and your husband problem. Like, for me, it's like, my job is not to make sure your relationship is hunky-dory. That's your problem. If you have a husband that feels okay to disrespect your parents or your family and then causes problems with you, if somebody calls him out on the dumb shit that he's doing, then for me, I'm just like, that's not my problem. Why did you marry a man like this? That's that problem.
But I feel like the reality is a lot of girls might do that.
Of course they
because
would.
they have to salvage their relationship with their husband.
I think.
And because they know they can't say certain things to him, they have to turn around and say it to their safe space, which ends up being their family.
Of course.
And you become the punching bag.
But you know what?
And then guess what? Moving forward, 10, 15 years down the road, nobody's saying anything to anyone. And he just ends up deciding like, oh, you can only see your family twice a year.
Honestly, I'm irritated because I just feel like that is like the worst thing that you could allow somebody to do in your life. You're allowing somebody to basically like cut you off from your family because you just need everyone to agree with him. Like, everyone has to agree with him so that the world can be peaceful.
But also, like, I don't want to agree with you because what's the fun in this conversation?
Yeah, but then it's also just like, imagine somebody who's never heard a no.
Yeah.
Right? Their whole life, it has to be like, oh no, let me stroke his ego, because if he gets a no, if someone counteracts or rebuttals him and they're actually right, then he's going to get mad at his wife.
Yeah. Let me praise him. Let me, bow down to everything that you're doing.
What type of craziness is this, honestly speaking?
But this is one of the realest issues when it comes to toxic masculinity. And unfortunately, some girls get married and you don't see it until you're much later in the relationship. Because maybe some of this gets worse with age. But it gets worse with kids, because then this like overbearing papa bear comes out.
Yeah, but can I ask you?
Yeah.
Do you really think you don't see it?
I
feel like there's always signs.
Maybe there's always signs. Maybe you disregard a lot of it. Maybe you think, oh, it's okay. Or you confuse it for love, right? Because you're like, oh, no, he's not doing that. He just loves me. He just wants to take care of me. He wants to take my side, or I should be proud of all of his achievements. So yeah, I should talk about it all the time in public.
But you know what I also think happens with Desi girls? Desi girls want like a man that has a little bit of like, whoosh, a little bit. Don't play.
I don't think it's just Desi
It's
girls.
not what. Yeah, it's not just Desi girls. It's girls in general. We
Yeah,
want a guy that's like masculine, that can hold it down, and sometimes we need him to put us in our place. Okay, that's just the way it is. You want a strong man, right? But then sometimes what you see as like, oh, but he's being a strong, protective Punjabi man.
Yes.
You see it like that. And in actuality, it's a whole walking, talking red flag. Lawless jhanda you've ever seen in
like
your
Andrew
life.
Tate behavior.
Okay? It's out of control, straight up. Where you're sitting there and you're just like, I allowed this, but like, this is not, because it's just going to get progressively worse. It's not going to get better.
The consistent comparison or the meanness because I wasn't married to the elder son. So there's two brothers. And I'm assuming that they both have wives. She married the younger one and the older brother is married. And there's constant comparison between the bahus.
I think the comparison thing is so common.
It's so common between sister-in-laws and brother-in-laws, both.
So common to the point where I'm just like, but I say the same thing. It's common in families too.
Yeah.
It's common in families.
Siblings.
100%. Parents have a favorite. Teachers have a favorite. Everybody has a favorite. I'm not looking at you at all. Guys, I don't know why I'm so hungry, so I'm just eating.
It's all good. It's all good. It's because it's your birthday.
It's my birthday.
You get to eat. You know what I really, really dislike is when you've had, let's say, you marry into a family that has two brothers. And the older brother's been married for 5-6 years.
Okay.
Has 2 kids.
Okay.
Okay. Now you're coming in. All of a sudden, maybe you're also seen as like the family babysitter. Oh. Because the new bahu is here. And guess what? Hina, can you just watch him for a second?
But you also have to earn your stripes. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but in the beginning,
that's what they think. They're
I
like,
know.
she has to put the work in.
Oh, she's got to put the work in because the way I had to deal with the mother-in-law. Now you got to deal with the mother-in-law. And you know what? You got to deal with me too.
Yeah. Oh. Double whammy.
Double mother-in-laws?
Oh my
Double
God.
the sets.
Oh my God. Actually, like that can be really scary.
But I don't like this mentality of like, yo, you got to earn your stripes. What is that?
I don't like the mentality either, but a lot of families are like that.
Yes.
Where it's like, look at everything I went through. Why does she get so easy?
It's the same
know
with
what I'm
like, for example, if you get a new job.
Yeah.
And you see people in like manager roles or in like permanent positions and they'll look at the newbies and they'll be like, well, you got to earn your way up.
Yeah. But that shouldn't be the dynamic in like a marriage.
With in-laws.
Because for me, it's like, yo, welcome that person so you can be friends with them.
Yeah.
You got a friend.
Yeah. You got a friend in me. Nah. You got a dushman in me, okay?
Major dushmani. But you know what I think also happens? The younger bahu comes in and it's like, she's young. She's a youngin.
She's young.
She's dressing real good.
Her skin real tight.
She's hosting real good family dawa.
Her makeup is real slick.
And that's what I'm saying.
She's wearing real nice jewelry.
Gold everywhere, okay?
Check out Angreza accessories, by the way.
But you know, it's also like, okay, let's say she comes from a family that's like really wealthy.
Ooh.
Okay. And let's say you're not from a family that's wealthy.
Yeah.
Then there's that thing too. Where
Yeah.
it's like she thinks she's better than us.
Yeah. Or she's got a bit better education.
Oh.
And
yeah.
maybe you didn't get a chance to do any post-secondary or you did a bachelor's in something and then had kids right away. So you didn't even get a chance to work. Let's say you completed your education and then you had kids. You're going to be at home.
Yeah.
And she comes in. She's a working woman. She's in the industry.
She's modern too.
She's modern. She's wearing the ethnic. She's wearing all the clothes. And she's showing up to Eid. But guess what? Then the older bahu's going to be like, yo, put the dishes in the dishwasher.
You're going to be Cinderella in the kitchen.
Cinderella. With
Honestly, I'm telling you, it really does happen.
Oh,
it
100%.
really does happen.
100%.
And if you're living in a joint family all together, girl, because like imagine you have like 2 or 3 older like sister-in-laws, okay?
Yeah.
Then imagine all 3 of them are like ganging up on you.
Oh my gosh.
Right? Because they're like, oh, like we've been here so long, we've developed a friendship. So she's a newbie. And then imagine she's like looking for somebody to like be her friend.
Yeah.
And like she confides in one of them, but then the one tells the others.
And then
Do
they
you
tell
know
the
how-
mom.
Oh, this is like really
Icky behavior. But I also feel like you get so stuck because then what are they going to do? They're going to tell your husband.
I think
Then
everybody
who's getting in trouble?
Everybody
You
get your
are
own,
getting in
get
trouble.
your own house. Get your own place, for God's sake. For
In case
God's
we don't
sake.
save this by the end of the episode, the message is to buy your own place.
Please, guys, like, please, like, it's really beneficial, honestly. I really, truly believe that it would help.
Somebody's like, well, my sister-in-laws are my cousins, so I have nothing but love for them.
Sometimes you got to say those things, and internally you're like, freaking hater.
Internally, you're like, this is the cousin competition that I had my whole life.
Even if your sister-in-law is your cousin, you think there's no competition? There's always competition.
Yeah, there's always competition.
Amongst girls, I would even say it's amongst guys.
Especially in Pakistan, who's wearing the best suit? Who got in line first for the release of that summer lawn?
Oh, the summer lawn.
The summer lawn?
Full effect.
Everybody's getting there.
Oh my God.
Oh my God, this one. Moody sister-in-law and my family bending backwards to ensure she's always happy. Wow.
But I wonder why she's feeling... Okay, but you want to know something? Look, because families are so different.
Yeah.
Sometimes you're like, I'm doing everything to make her happy.
Right.
But then some of the things that you're doing might be triggering her. Like maybe you're like overimposing.
Yeah.
You're like, hey, are you okay? Hey, are you okay? And she's just like, can you just give me a break? But you know, this is okay. So somebody also said, adding to that, wanting to be welcoming, but not always having a sense of their vibe. That's a big one, because think about it. You don't know who that person is.
Yes.
You don't know how their family is. You don't know how they've been raised up. Now they come into your house and naturally you want to be welcoming.
Yeah.
Naturally you're like, oh, I want to be friends with you, blah, 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 blah.
Nobody wants to be a mean person.
Nobody wants to be that way. But then you're kind of like trying to figure out, who are they? What's their personality?
Yeah.
And girl, it takes years to figure that out sometimes.
Girl, we're still figuring it out.
Yeah.
Somebody to just, jump on that, adapting to their zehen, their mentality, such as their humor, their boundaries, their respect, their relationship, and their values. Yo, humor?
Oh my God, I was just talking about that. Okay, realistically, Aruj.
Yeah.
Okay, we've been friends for like a really long time.
Yep. Did I know you were this funny?
I was just about to say that. Guys, I've known her for over a decade.
Yeah.
Okay, when we started the podcast, I was just like, there's no flipping way this girl's laughing and like making me laugh the way I'm laughing.
Yo.
Like there's no, where did this come from? Because in the 10 years I've known this girl, she threw down maybe like a handful of jokes. But the way these jokes are slapping my face now, I didn't know about these.
You guys, you've seen me. I'm crying on the show.
Yeah.
That's how much Hina makes me belly
Her
laugh.
silent laughs, guys. But you know what I'm saying?
But
Look,
we didn't know. It took us 10 years.
we didn't know. And then it's also, you know what it also is? It's the dry humor and the sarcasm that nobody gets. That you're just like, it was a joke.
It was a joke.
And they're just like, why
But
would you say that?
I also have a friend who is like obsessed with TikTok as usual. Everyone is. So, but I'm pretty good with it too. I feel like I know a lot of the trends, and like she'll drop a TikTok sound. The whole room is silent, and I'll finish the TikTok sound, and she'll be like, "This is why if Aruj wasn't here, I'd feel like an idiot." But it's everyone's humor.
It is.
Like your humor, I get, and it's
I get your humor
funny,
too.
but maybe somebody wouldn't get it.
But like, okay, if your sister-in-law is like much younger than you, and she's coming out with like TikTok trend, and you're just like,
I don't get it.
क्या चीज़ है ये हम इस तरह की चीजें नहीं करते.
मुझे समझ नहीं आ रही. Why is this so funny?
Or like, you know how we have a slang, like the way we talk, it's like just, I don't know what it is. It's a mixture of God knows what. Okay, but like somebody who doesn't, let's say somebody is not from Canada,
right? That's what I'm saying.
Even from the States, like I think we have our own version of things. Like if someone from the States, we would be like, oh, that's different. So like it takes some getting used to.
100%.
And then you're also just like, I was just joking, and like I'm trying to be light with my humor, but like I guess not.
You want to know what else?
What?
Sometimes people come from Pakistan and they're very blunt.
Oh yeah.
And like and they'll just say things, and I'll be like, okay, but wait, are you being funny right now, or are you trying to be mean? And I've experienced this with aunties.
I've experienced this too.
Right? And they'll just say things to me, and I'm like, and then they're laughing and everyone's kind of joking around, and I'm like, I don't get it. This is not funny.
No filter.
Yeah.
Like, but no filter.
Obviously, when I was experiencing this, I was much younger, so I could never go back and like ask or bring it up. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, you can't always even bring it up, because they'll be like, ye kya kar rahi hai? Like, why are you having a conversation with me about this? I can say what I want to say. Yeah. That's a tough one. Okay, guys, real talk. The other most difficult thing, and I'm just talking about strictly like Pakistani community, is like the difference in Punjabi speaking jokes and Urdu speaking jokes. Because I can drop a lot of Punjabi speaking jokes and people will think it's rude or people might not immediately understand.
Oh my God, are you
But then
serious?
I'll meet other people who get it and we're
they're
on the
like-
floor.
Okay, but you know, jokes in Punjabi, they slap way harder than jokes in Urdu.
Guys, there are just some things that just sound so funny.
Guys, like my Punjabi is not even like amazing, but like, you know, like sometimes like when my mom is talking to her sister or whatever, her sister is so funny.
Yo.
And like she'll say things and I'm just like, oh my God, she's so funny. And like if I said that in Urdu, it would not.
No, it doesn't.
But you know what it also is? Punjabi is a little bit harsher.
It is.
Urdu is sweeter.
Urdu is
Hindi
sweeter.
is sweeter too.
Yes, it is. It is.
Yeah.
But I just find that some things are just so funny in Punjabi.
Yes.
Like sometimes if I'm saying something and I'll be like, "Beja aram nal," it means sit.
Yeah.
But then I'm like, "Aram se baith jao," like it doesn't. You're not really understanding the joke.
Yes, exactly. Very different.
So
very
that's
different.
why. So this is also a big thing in our community.
I can
And
see
like
that.
if you,
can
let's
see
say
that.
your brother married a girl who's Urdu speaking.
Yeah.
And then she hears your
Punjabi.
khala talking in Punjabi. No, for example.
Yeah, of
then
course.
she's gonna be like, oh, she's being so mean.
Yeah.
What is she saying?
But she wouldn't understand.
Yeah, but let's say she understood a little bit, or maybe she
Yeah.
just felt like it was rude.
Or like really to the point, straight up.
Yeah,
'Cause
or it's
Punjabi
like-
is straight up.
It's straight up. It's just
Yeah.
like to the point.
Yeah.
And then you're gonna be like, oh, this is kind of mean. Like let's say let's say she made chai.
Yeah.
And your khala's like thandi hai, right? But let's say she said in Punjabi, like, I don't know. I don't even know
Picky
how to-
chop.
Picky chai, thodi garam kar de mainu, okay? She said something. And she just says it. She doesn't say please.
Yeah.
She doesn't say, oh, beta waise maze ki bahut hai, thodi si
आप
garam
जरा
kar
इसको
do.
गरम कर सकती हैं?
Yes, she didn't say it like that. Then your
Bro.
sister-in-law's gonna get
Yes,
offended.
yes, 'cause
you guys real talk, you're
Yeah,
gonna get
yeah,
offended.
yeah,
You're like,
of
okay,
course.
but you could say it nicely.
Yeah, but like for them, it's just like this is just a regular day.
Well, it's a
I
regular,
would say
regular
this to
day.
my daughter.
Also, we don't say please and thank you.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I get that. I get that.
I get
There's
it.
like
I
a
feel
big
like
difference.
There is 100%.
But then, you know, like as a husband or like a wife, like you should prepare that person to know that this is what's going to happen.
But sometimes, men, this is your job,
Men.
and sometimes you guys don't really know how to prepare your future wives.
yeah, but it could also be the other way around. The girl's Punjabi,
That's
the
true.
guy is not. Right?
But I feel like with
the guys
girls,
can handle it though.
okay, but can I be real? I feel like with girls, you'll look around being like, listen, this is just how my family talks. With guys, they don't realize it until the girl is finally coming to you and telling you, by the way, was a little mean. Guys don't pick it up right away.
Yeah, that's true.
guys gotta pick it up in the moment.
But it's also the girl marries into the guy's family.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it would be very different.
Yeah.
You know what else I was going to say is like a big one? It's just the way that you keep yourself. Okay. So for example, like let's say your parents were totally okay with you wearing whatever you want to wear.
Oh, yeah, yeah,
And you
yeah.
get married into a family that's like super conservative. And now that family is just like, why are you wearing that at home? Like, let's say you're at home, you wear pajamas. Okay, you wear your pajamas, ain't nobody care. Okay, but then you get married into your in-laws, and your in-laws are like, please cover up. Like, you need to wear a shirt all the way to your knees.
I have to wear my
Okay?
shalwar kameez.
Yeah, basically. Okay, and they're like firm about it.
Yeah.
and then it's like if anyone comes to your house, you better wear the dupatta.
Oh
You know
my
what I'm saying?
See, if I lived with my in-laws and I'm feeling that way, let's say we're talking 22-year-old Aruj, then the stuff comes out where you're like, okay, but I don't want to come upstairs now,
Yeah,
or I don't want to come downstairs, depending on where you are in the home.
Okay, but Aruj, say you say that you're like, oh, I don't want to come upstairs. I don't want to come downstairs.
Yeah.
And then your mother-in-law says to you, Aruj, come upstairs. There's guests here.
I'll just
Or
be like,
there's
I'm
someone
not feeling
here.
well.
Girl, kitni baar tum kahoge I'm not feeling well. Eventually,
Aruj ka pet kharab
you know
hai.
the thing is like,
Aruj has IBS. Aruj is out of commission. Why did you
is-
give me faluda?
I would understand that like once or twice. I would be like, okay, fine, I can use that. But like, I would have a lot of anxiety.
Okay, and I know, guys, real talk, chup chops, and we're just putting a dupatta and going
Yeah, man.
upstairs.
But then you know how irritated I would get
I
doing
know.
that.
And then बड़ी moody है वैसे जब देखो मुंह बना के बैठी हुई है
I would be really irritated.
then
'cause
I
it's
get
just
even
like,
more irritated like I didn't even want to be here now I have to hear all these comments because I came upstairs
straight up. And that's the thing, you know, like you're
this
asked
is
to,
the snowball effect
because it's you're asking someone else's daughter to be exactly like your family, and they never will be. They've been raised in a very different environment. If their parents are relaxed and chill and they've let them do certain things certain ways, then like as a mother-in-law or a father-in-law shouldn't, or a sister-in-law or brother-in-law, you should just let them be. Like let them adapt in their own way.
so somebody even messaged us saying how she wears a hijab and she was the first bahu and like nobody in the family wore a hijab and I think her mother-in-law didn't understand the concept of like how, like you don't, maybe her mother-in-law was like, oh, you don't have to be so strict with it, for example, right?
Yeah.
And she's like, oh, other uncles would come to like visit the family, and my mother-in-law would tell me, you don't need to wear it around them.
Yeah.
And she'd be like, that's not how this works.
Yeah.
So it's also about like there's a communication piece that needs to happen too, where maybe your mother-in-law is going to get a little offended, but you need to also let her know, like, if this is your moral and your value and you're wearing a hijab, you have to also explain it to her, because nobody in the family wears it, she might not understand, because in her eyes she'll be like, no, but he's like a brother to me.
Yeah.
But he's family. We've known them since Pakistan. Right? Because sometimes that's also an argument.
Yeah, of course it is. It could go both ways.
Yeah.
It could also be something like, oh, let's say you get married into a family that like drinks alcohol.
Yeah.
And you don't. Right?
And you don't.
And I'm not talking about Muslims. I'm just taking in general, right? And you're just like, I don't do this. Like, this is not what I do. And they're like, well, just do it. Just, then you might feel peer pressure to change who you are to just like fit in with the family.
Yes.
And I feel like that's so unfair.
This is guilty. Aruja's personal story.
Yeah.
My family's real loud. My family's real loud.
That way.
And my husband is the youngest in his family. So his home has been quiet for quite some time because he's the youngest and his brothers got married, many, many years ago. And when I first got married, I had to tone it down. I had to be like, Aruj, your indoor voice is real outdoor right now. It's so quiet. You gotta be like,
but girl, you're also Punjabi. That's why.
Know, I'm so loud, guys. Sometimes I feel like it's even in my walk. Like, meri chaal mein bhi na dhoom dhaam se main chalti hu. Aruj is in the house. When you're climbing up the stairs, you're like, dhoom. But I also feel like it's other things. Like, if I personally reflect, like, I love gifting and stuff, but maybe I don't put in that much of an effort in like presentation. But maybe somebody else on the other end is like, girl, put a little bit of effort in.
Yeah, but that's like, okay, in a relationship, that's like you husband and wife, like, they know, he'll tell you if he needs
But
that.
what if you're gifting your mother-in-law? I'm talking about or sister-in-law. We're talking about brother-in-law, like, sister-in-law. Let's say you got your sister-in-law gift. Okay. And you're really excited to give it to her, but you really didn't have time to like properly package it, but you just put it in a bag. Okay. And you go to her house and now she's like a bit offended because she's like, yeah, the gift is fine, but was this an afterthought? Because you're just kind of handing it to me in a tote bag, for example. I'm just making it up.
I mean, I don't think it's that big of a deal, because at the end of the day, it's like, why do you need it to be so floofy and floffy? Like,
but I think you have to.
Okay, so then in that case, it would be like if the sister-in-law ever gifted you something, right? And you feel like she's catching feelings, which in my opinion, I think that's ridiculous. Okay, not everyone is going to gift the way you gift. Let people do what they want, right? But like, if she gives you some floofy gift, okay, and you're like, oh my God, this is so beautiful, then you're like, okay, maybe with her I need to make a little bit more effort because she likes that stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But like, I also feel like just because someone does it doesn't mean they need somebody else to do it back to them.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because I swear to God, I love wrapping. I love gifting, stuff like that. But like, I don't think I've ever been like, and she didn't even wrap it properly.
Because the first person that she's going to talk about like that would be me. Because I'll hand it to her in a tote bag. But you guys want to know something? The effort that I put in is me buying the gift.
But that's my point, right? It's more about like, oh my God, someone thought about you and they knew what you liked.
So you're saying this, you're thinking this way, but I think in a sister-in-law, brother-in-law relationship, maybe sometimes, let's say your sister-in-law got offended. Like, you just hand it to me in a tote bag. I think it's important, and this might take many years, but it's important to have a conversation being like, hey, listen, sometimes I can't always put in that effort, but I hope that you can see that my effort is me thinking about you and going out of my way to find something that I know that you would love.
Okay, but can I be real with you? Girl, if you gave me something that I liked, do you think I would literally be like, but the wrapping wasn't good? Yeah, even if the gift was bomb?
Sister-in-law, brother-in-law? Girl, we're talking about that.
Yeah,
that dynamic.
See, this is the other
like,
thing
even,
that
for example, I'm even talking about shadi ke gifts. The in-laws are expecting these massive gift baskets with all this cellophane and wrapping, and you need to present it to them in front of everybody in the banquet hall.
Guys, I'm so against that. I will
and
die
who
on
does
that
all
hill.
the wrapping? It's the girl's family.
For sure.
So I'm like,
no, I understand.
I'm talking
You're
about
not
the reality
wrong.
of like
You're
this.
Not wrong,
your sister-in-law could get offended.
She could get offended, but honestly, if you're that type of sister-in-law that's gonna get offended by something so minuscule, man, fix up. Like, are you kidding me? What type of dumb thing is that to get? It's one thing if it's like somebody does you dirty, like proper, okay?
Or gives you like a cheap used gift.
Or a whited out card, okay? That's different. But like, if they put the effort in, at the end of the day, effort is effort. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but knowing her, she'd run upstairs to her mom being like, tofa to diya, but did you see how she gave it to me? It was in a food basic tote bag.
And this is why you would not want to be friends with sister-in-laws like this.
Maybe she didn't even buy it. Maybe it was in her closet.
Okay, let me ask you something.
Aruj real in the scenarios right now.
Okay, let me ask you something.
Go.
Let's say something happens in your sister-in-law relationship and
Okay.
you realize that, you know what? I cannot be around this person.
Okay.
I don't like her.
Oh, got
okay?
it.
I've tried. I give up. Okay. I'm raising my white flag. Do you think that there is a point of return from that point? Because I feel like once certain relationships are tainted, you will never look at them the same way again. Do you think that you could fix a broken sister-in-law or brother-in-law relationship?
Real talk?
Yeah.
I don't think so. I don't think so because I feel like unless you and your sister-in-law, brother-in-law is willing to put in the work together,
Yeah.
which when you're at that point of no return and you've waved your white flag, you might not want to put in the work because you're like, I've been putting in the work for a decade. I've been trying. I showed up for birthdays.
I've been apologizing.
I've been apologizing. I said my piece. I came to your house.
Oh my God.
I apologized to you, even
Yeah.
though you didn't apologize back.
That bothers me.
And I'm still here. And now I've given up. You can't come back from that because in the back of your mind, you're going to think, no, because she never accepted my apology. And the toxic behavior continued.
Yeah, but then let's say you guys don't talk.
Okay.
Okay. Now the husbands who are brothers are like, we're not, like, what do? We can't hang out with each other. We can't do anything because like these girls aren't even talking. They're
So,
not even chill.
There's
So
two
then it's
things
like
that I
that
think
relationship gets messed
yeah,
up.
there's two things that I think could happen from the scenario. I think either the brothers will continue their brotherly relationship separate from the family.
Okay.
Which means like, oh, let's go whatever, golfing, let's go watch a movie, let's go do our own thing.
Yeah.
Which is fine. And I think that's kind of healthy because then at least you guys are still maintaining your real relationship with
Yeah.
your brother without
Fair.
having to involve any of the family drama. Or sometimes the brothers will be like, you know what, my wife's actually right. And I've been noticing this behavior and I just didn't say anything. But now that she's doing it to you and our kids, I don't know. Maybe I need to put a boundary up with my brother too.
But that's so sad because imagine the brothers were super chill. And then the only person that ruined that relationship was the damn wife.
And that could happen. That could happen. That's sad. Oh my God. This one.
Go.
Knowing how he was and why they broke up 5 years ago, but my sister-in-law still chose to marry him.
Yeah, because sometimes you're just blinded by love, man.
I know. And sometimes you're dating somebody for a number of years.
You're
And-
like, there's no koy aur hai nahi.
Or you're just like, you excuse the behavior.
I think a
Because
lot
you're
of
like,
girls
oh, in
do
high
that.
school, okay, fine, we dated for 5 years. It didn't work out. I was young and naive. He actually loves me.
He's changed now.
He's changed now. Oh, maybe it looked like he was separating me from my family and my friends, but in reality, he just really loved me. He just really loved me. So I'm gonna choose to marry him. Or you go through some crazy rishtas and you're like, oh, I can't find someone. It's
I
so
think
hard.
That's more common.
Yeah. And then you end up marrying him and everyone is like, cool. You decided to marry him. That's
Or
fine.
they tell you don't do it and you still do it.
Do you think a lot of people do? I feel like sometimes when somebody makes the choice of marrying someone, you just accept it. You're like, all right, do it.
No. You accept it, of course. When it's done, you accept it,
Yeah.
right? But I'm saying leading up to it being accepted,
Yeah.
you will say like, okay, for example, my sister, let's say, is marrying somebody, okay? And I'm like, I don't even like this person. Straight up, don't like him. He's a walking, talking red flag. And let's say I tell my sister and she's like, you don't know.
But also, she dated him. Let's say she dated him
Let's say she
in
dated
high
him.
school.
Let's say she dated him in high
Okay.
school for like 3-4 years, okay?
So you've known him.
So I've known him. I've seen the red chunde, okay? And then I say to him, yeah, like large ass chunde, okay? I said to her clearly, like, yo, listen, I'm your sister, so I can say things bluntly. This is not the right guy. This is not the right guy. And she, let's say, even saw it at one point. They
Okay.
broke up, but then eventually with time, he comes back 3 years later. You know how these guys are. Comes back and it's like, oh yeah, no, I'm different now. Everything's changed. And he's treating her so well, but you still know. Changing somebody takes forever.
Takes
The
forever.
likelihood of him having changed is very minimal. Okay.
Let's say your mom comes to you and says, Hina, don't say anything. We can't find her someone.
I would be like, are you okay, mom?
So let's say some moms will do that because they're like, we need to get her married.
I just think that is
He's a
horribly
good
toxic.
guy. It's a good family.
I would tell my mom, okay, so is this good? Is this good? Is this that he did this good? Is this that he did that? He's a liar. Is that good? I would point it out because for me, it's like, yo, I love my sister. Who are you? Who is you? So that's my main priority is like, I got to back up my sister at the end of the day, no matter what, regardless. Okay. Now, if she comes to me and she's like, Hina, stop interfering. Let this play out the way I want it to play out.
Okay.
Eventually I'd give up, girl.
I know.
और मैं क्या करूं?
I know. And then she marries him.
And then she
that's
marries
what
him, but then
happened
it's like, chalo bhugto phir main kya karu?
Exactly.
Like, honestly, at the end of the day, if that's your choice, I already told you. So at least मैं सुकून से सो सकती हूँ कि like I said what I had to say. You know, the rest is on you.
The rest is on you.
And a lot of girls make those decisions, but I also feel like, you know what? You know why we make the decisions like that, guys? It's because we just don't know any better.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Like,
And the pressure.
it's the pressure. It's the fact that no one showed us what healthy love was.
No.
Okay. No one had open conversations with us about this. So we walk in there blind. Okay. Someone gives us a flower, a dandy freaking lion. And we're out here like, oh my God, is Raja ne pata nahi kya, kaun leke aaye?
Meanwhile, chink maar ke mera dimag kharab ho gaya because of my allergies, and you decide to bring me dandelions.
Hay fever.
Hay fever. I got hives from head to toe. But you want to propose? Okay.
I'm telling you, he's gonna propose to you with a dandelion ring
Hina,
too.
I'm engaged. Hina's gonna be like, "Vadi baat."
I am literally gonna be
Aruj. Like
"Aruj,
we're
alright,
not.
yeah, congratulations, Mubarak, girl. I'll bring you a dandelion laddu. Okay.
You put in your hair on the day of your mendi.
Okay, but like, it would bother me.
100%.
Sibling, it would bother me.
100%.
But then I also
We've
am like,
seen relationships like this. Let's be real.
yeah, and you know, at the end of the day, it's just like, it is what it is, and you can't do anything. But then I also say it's a mistake you have to go through.
Right.
You have to live through it. You have to sort it out. Maybe you'll realize and learn a lesson from it.
Yeah, but also, you guys, can we also do a lot of self-realization and not blame your own families?
Oh my God.
Please take the time to take a deep breath and see how you're going to change this. Like, let's say you chose to marry this ex. And let's say you are, obviously, it's like 10, 15 years into your marriage. You've got a couple of kids. And you're seeing that all of those red flags that you broke up with him in high school, you see it come back tenfold. In like now by the time he's like 45, 50. Please take the time to self-reflect rather than turning around being like, oh, you made me marry him.
Yeah, but Rouge, can I also say?
Yeah.
Because we're Desis and our parents have always wanted us to marry young, okay? Naturally, we were not even equipped to understand what is a red flag other than like the basic ones, which is like cheating, you know, like certain things that are like no
lying.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
But even lying, girl, even lying, the way that you're just like, so what? I lie sometimes too.
It's just a fib.
Yeah, it's just a fib. Right?
I
It's
have
a
to let it go
white lie.
see him.
Yeah. So like you're telling yourself these things, right? And you're just thinking to yourself, oh, but like, no, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. And so imagine your parents are like, koi baat nahi, you like this person, go get married at 19, 20, 21, 22. Let's say they say that. Okay. Let's say nobody puts up any fight.
Okay.
You end up marrying this guy. Now your brain has not even developed. Okay. At 30 years old, you're like, oh my God. Okay. What the hell did I do? Okay. Oof. But then at that point, when you realize and you're a little bit more educated, understanding, you've done your own reading into this, then you're like, this was the worst decision for me.
Yeah.
But even our parents, some of them were not educated. So it's almost like I can't even blame them because it's like, what did they know? What did they know, girl? Their thing was just get your daughters married.
Exactly. Because that was the ultimate goal for them.
Yeah, what a goal. All right, guys, that was our episode for today. But if you want more on this topic, because we have so much to say on it, we're actually doing a second part on our Patreon. So head on over there. We have a new episode on Patreon every Monday at 7 a.m. Please make sure you guys subscribe and sign up. Make sure you guys are following us on everything.
Make sure you check out Rangreza Accessories. Please
Listed
give her a
below.
follow.
Make sure you tell her that we sent you. We sent you. That was like, well, all right.
We'll see you guys next week. Bye. Okay, Mom.